Me and my boyfriend were both 37, and we've been dating for just over 3 years. Overall, it's been really healthy. We're both independent, established in our careers and lives, and I honestly love spending time with him. I didn't have any major complaints. But then, about 6 months ago, something kind of startled me. He suggested opening up the relationship, specifically meaning he wanted to go on dates and sleep with other women. Now, I had been single for 8 years before we met, and this was totally new territory for me, so naturally I had a ton of questions. He assured me, oh, yeah, you can date and sleep with other men too. I was skeptical, absolutely, but after doing some reading and thinking it over, I agreed. He even promised that if at any point I became uncomfortable, we could stop and immediately close the relationship back up. So we set this core rule. We wouldn't discuss with each other what we were doing, who we were seeing, or any of the details. Okay. So I signed up for a dating app. Within like a few days, I had over 500 likes, and honestly, it's been steady ever since. I started matching, texting, setting up dates. On average, I'm going on maybe 1 or 2 dates a month, and I found a couple of people in similar open dynamics that I sleep with regularly. And, well, I actually started enjoying the non-committal aspect of it, so my initial skepticism, it pretty much faded. I was thriving in this open dynamic. Sticking to the rules, though, I hadn't told him any of this. Then, the other day, I was at his house and my phone was just sitting right there on the kitchen counter. He saw the notifications pop up, proceeded to grab my phone, go through it, and read all my messages, including digging through the dating app activity. He was beyond furious. And it turns out, he only opened the relationship up to try and date a younger colleague at his workplace. He admitted it outright that he wanted to see if things would work with her so he could ultimately leave me for her. The problem was, she completely misread his idea of a date as just a work lunch, and she rejected him, and apparently no one else wanted him either. In the last 6 months, he'd only had, a few rough dates and hasn't slept with anyone new. Honestly, I felt somewhat embarrassed for him, so he instantly demanded that we close the relationship up, and I told him simply that maybe we should just end things entirely, or at least take a break. He was outraged and called me a whore, but I thought, wait, he wanted this dynamic, so what's the issue? I just left, walked home, and started seriously contemplating fully breaking it off, figuring I might as well join the rest of the people who clearly don't want him. Now he's been blowing up my phone, and I'm not sure what to say. Am I the asshole? So I'm 19, and I live at home with my parents. My brother is 32, and his girlfriend, who is either 21 or 22, was staying with us this past weekend for my dad's birthday. I haven't talked to her much, but she seems really nice. She goes to my college, and she's close to my age, so I could totally see us being friends. The age gap between her and my brother is a little weird, I guess, especially since she's almost the same age as me, but hey, he's my brother, so if he's happy. Anyway, last night, my brother decided they were going to go out for drinks. My parents were already asleep, and his girlfriend didn't seem super thrilled about going since it was already 10 or 11 at night, but, I figured it wasn't my business, so I didn't say anything. I stayed up doing schoolwork in the kitchen, and I heard them come home around 1:30 or 2 in the morning. When they came through the kitchen, his girlfriend was absolutely hammered. I mean, could barely walk straight, slurring her words, the whole thing. I asked if she was okay, and my brother immediately cut in, saying she was fine and that they only had a couple drinks. He seemed really eager to rush her downstairs to the basement room they were staying in. I felt uneasy because she seemed way, way more drunk than he was letting on, but I tried to brush it off. Okay, so about 10 minutes later, I heard a phone ringing on the counter. I didn't pay any mind to it until it kept ringing and ringing, and I got this really weird feeling, so I went to check it. It was her phone, and there were 3 missed calls from Mommy Sock. I thought that was super strange because I know my own mom would never call me 3 times at 2 a.m. unless something was seriously wrong. I debated just leaving it, but when it started ringing again, I decided I had to take it down to her. I knocked before going down, but since the phone was ringing and I didn't assume there was any reason for real concern, I didn't wait long. As I started walking down, I heard some distinct grunting noises that suddenly stopped, then some rustling, and that's when it clicked what was happening. I immediately stopped and apologized and said out loud that I was just bringing her phone because someone was calling a bunch of times. My brother called up and said it was fine and to come down. When I got at the bottom, he was standing there in a towel and looked incredibly nervous. His girlfriend was under the blankets on the bed, and from what I could see around her shoulders, she looked naked. She also was 100% asleep and passed out. I tried to doubt what I was thinking for a second, but the smell in the room made it pretty clear what had been going on. I gave him the phone and went right back upstairs. I couldn't stop thinking about it, though. She had been so drunk she could barely stand, while he seemed totally fine. It made me feel extremely uncomfortable, especially with her being a girl that's basically my age. I didn't know exactly what to do. I didn't exactly see anything happen, but my gut was screaming that something was off, and my mind just kept going to the worst case scenario. I ended up telling my mom in the morning and asking her for advice about what I saw because I couldn't shake it. Later, my brother came upstairs alone. I could hear my mom quietly talking to him, and then a few minutes later, he came into my room looking seriously mad. He told me I was making serious stuff up that I didn't understand and that I needed to stay out of his business. I told him I wasn't accusing him of anything, but that I felt uneasy about what I saw, especially because his girlfriend was super drunk and he had no reason to be mad if it wasn't the case. I said if I were in her position, I'd want someone to say something, and he would too. That just made him even angrier. He told me I didn't know what the hell I was saying, and he went back downstairs. When they both did come up, my brother basically refused to let me talk to her at all, and her eyes were very bloodshot, possibly from crying, but I didn't see very well, so maybe just from being hardly awake. Then he rushed them both out, saying they were going to eat. My mom later thanked me for saying something, but my dad told me that I might have overstepped since I don't know the full story, and that I don't want to get him in trouble, and I would feel bad if I did get him into trouble. Now I just feel weird and kind of guilty. I don't know if I did the right thing or if I just made everything worse. Update. Okay, I'm going to be brief for the privacy and safety of the girl and any future action she decides to take regarding this. This was not a product of a prior agreement between her and my brother. The calls from her mom were the response to a call she made to her earlier that night when she was out with my brother and experienced abnormal effects under similar circumstances in the past. My mom and I drove her to the location she chose, and my brother went home in his own vehicle with my dad. I am not making any claims asserting the alleged reasoning or wrongdoing of any party, if any at all. Most importantly, the girl is safe and fully informed of both the occurrences and this post. I cannot make any claims on behalf of my brother, as we are not allowed to contact each other at this time, per my parents. Am I the asshole for giving my friend her baby back before I was supposed to? I'm genuinely struggling with this, so I'll take any honest, direct feedback I can get. I'm F26 and childless, which I think may be relevant here. My close friend A, F27, had her second baby, R, almost 4 months ago, and her first T, who is about 7 years old, has been having trouble adjusting to his new sibling. She'd been feeling a lot of guilt around this, so I let her know that once she was comfortable, I'd be down to babysit R so she could have some one-on-one time with T. She knows I have 12 nibblings. I was literally born an aunt, so she's comfortable with this. She took me up on the offer on Halloween so she could take T trick-or-treating. She asked if I could keep R overnight so she and T could take part in some tradition or other. I adore the baby, so of course I said yes. Halloween rolls around. A drops R off at my apartment at around 4 p.m. and everything's fine. After about an hour, A FaceTimes me to check on the baby. Another 45 minutes go by. A FaceTimes me again. No problem. This baby's really young, so I totally get the anxiety. She continues to FaceTime me every 30 minutes to an hour, even while she takes T trick-or-treating. She'd get to a spot with no signal or Wi-Fi, try to call, the call would drop, and she'd call back-to-back until FaceTime stopped dropping the call. At some point, they finish up trick-or-treating and go to do their Halloween tradition. Whatever it is, it runs late. She's still wide awake and FaceTiming at around 10 p.m. when I'm getting ready for bed. I ask her if she just wants me to book R home. She insists that she doesn't want that. I let her know that both R and I are about to be asleep, and I definitely start getting a little a-holy here. Maybe this would be a good time to finally focus on T. She continues to FaceTime every 30 minutes to an hour. I answer or call her back every time. The last few calls, I try to break it to her gently that she's keeping both me and R awake, and he's already not a great sleeper, so it's getting a little rough settling him back down after her calls wake him up. She does not care. I finally get fed up at some point. A is clearly tired. R can't sleep because his mom won't stop calling. I won't put my phone on silent while I'm babysitting someone's newborn, for obvious reasons, and I'm irritated. After we hang up the last time, I pack up R and his things and I take him home. She's genuinely upset with me. I thought I was doing the right thing because she was clearly struggling with being away from the baby. T was asleep by the time I dropped R back off, so it's not like I disturbed their time. I don't have kids, maybe that's why I can't gauge the issue, but someone please let me know if I was an AH for bringing the baby back home.